Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm Vincent Meza. This is Listings to Leads. And today this class is really for our loan officer clients and our title partners, right? And so at a high level of why should you be using us? It's our view that realtors across the country are getting called dozens of times every day by fantastic loan officers about today's rates, right? The rates that you have and the awesome service that you have. And that's cool. That's a lot of phone calls. And so a lot of loan officers feel like, and a lot of title professionals feel like they need to have a different value proposition for that call. And that's what Listings to Leads is all about. Now, if you don't know what we do, we've been here for 16 years and we are a real estate advertising platform, right? We focus on social media, on print, on email. We have paid ads. We have software from Facebook and Google. We have PDF guides. We have landing pages. So we have a lot of ways for a realtor to engage the public, to find either buyers or sellers. And there's also tools for the loan officers to just go directly to market, right? You got landing pages and PDF guides that you can run ads and get things out there. But it's really designed primarily to help you grow your relationships with real estate partners who are selling homes, right? Because people that want to buy those homes are going to probably need a loan, right? Or they're going to need some title service, right? And so if you're bringing this kind of value to to your partnerships, you're more likely going to have their attention there, and they're going to understand that, and they're going to bring ideally more business to you. So that's how it works. I'm on our lenders page. If you go to listingsleads.com, we'll hear one of our clients saying how this is helping his business. You also can schedule a call with me here. I think if we scroll down, you'll see my contact information. You can schedule a call or you can just reach out to me. We can chat if you have questions beyond this call. A bunch of testimonials here, lots of great stuff here. But let's talk about just these bullet points, right? Automated listing marketing. We have software from Facebook and Google to ads. They're quick. We have really powerful, this new AI technology to follow up with leads. So it's texting to follow up with leads. That's converting right now 11% of our leads to phone calls. And ideally, you or your partners are comfortable on the phone, and so you can close more business. I think one of the hardest things, if you've been in this industry time, is if you're capturing leads, how do you convert it to a phone call? How do you just get them? Then after the phone call, then it's a meeting and then it's a signature. But we are really great at capturing leads, and you'll get a view of that in a bit here. But converting leads into business is really what we want for our clients. And so we developed this AI software. Like I said, it's converting 11% of our leads to phone calls, and that's great, right? We've also got a pre-qualification landing page. It's just a simple, without credit check. It's available for each agent so they can share it with their potential buyers. And that information, that loan information, the simple application would go to you. And there are tools for realtors. There's great social media content. Some of the tools are co-branded and it integrates with CRMs. That's the whole page, right? So when we log into the system, it's got a lot of tools, right? And that's, I think, it's a value and it's a challenge when you have so many things that this thing can do. Where do I start is often the question, right? And so I want to speak to those of you, especially from the loan side, about the number one thing that you should be doing. And actually, this is true for title people too. If you're inviting agents in and they need to sell homes, the number one thing they should be doing is running an ad on Facebook. Okay. Now, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to jump over to the mastermind group. This is our private group. If you're a client, you should be part of this group. And I want to read this to you because this is current information. It was posted on May 8th. It's now May 29th. So it's about 20 days old. And this is coming from a loan officer, right? And he's working with a handful of agents. And this is his report. He says, we have just listed and open house ads on Facebook with listings to leads and the AI text email follow-up, right? And we've been doing this for 10 weeks, 2.5 months. In addition, we follow up with calls, updates, etc. right? Here are the results. They have spent $2,000 in 10 weeks and generated 575 leads. These leads, by the way, are coming with name, email, and phone number. So if you do the math, they're paying about $3.53 a lead. Okay. Now, at this point, it gets dated because it says 2 buyers have already closed, but I spoke with Craig. They've already closed. They put 4 of those leads into a home already. Okay. So they got them pre-approved and they got them homes in 21 days. Okay. They've also got another 4 as the last time I spoke with them, which was about 3 days ago. So they probably got, but they've got 4 pre-approved looking for homes. Okay. And I'm pretty sure they're getting some of those other 575 leads closer to pre-approval and all that. And so I just want to point out that what we're talking about right here is simply Facebook ads. And there's always questions about the validity or strength of a Facebook ad or a lead. And the reason why I'm showing this to you is this is clear that this is real money being spent in the past. This is the past 90 days. And these are the results that this team is getting, right? So this is agents working with this is a loan officer working with agents. Now, this isn't the only part of our platform, right? We do a whole lot here, but the dynamics market have changed. A couple of years ago, NAR threw all the buyer agents under the bus. That was a hurdle. And also interest rates are up. So home purchases are slowing down and agents are calling us and saying, hey, we've got listings. We need to get rid of them. We need to sell these things and we really need help. If you spoke, people called me 2 or 3 or 4 years ago, they didn't even want to talk to buyers, right? But now the dynamics of the market have changed. And so I want to show you what is the easiest way to get buyer leads. How can I do what this guy did? How can I get 575 leads? And let me show you exactly what he was doing. He came over to the dashboard, which is where you drop in when you log in, and he ran ads on homes that were open house and just listed. So I have an open house here. So let's just do that. We're going to leave it on lead ads. This is really important for you to understand. The reason they're able to convert leads is when you're running lead ads, the lead itself is pre-populated. The lead form is pre-populated from the profile of the person who clicked on it. Okay. And so you can see what it looks like here. It's like, this is my business page, Walnut Creek Real Estate and open house, basic information. This is all they're doing. Now they did change the template and stuff like that. I will point out a place where you really should be looking at before you start running. It's a 6-minute video before you start running Facebook ads, especially for buyers. It's really important and really valuable. But what the difference of this is when we do this, it's going to have like the city where the home is and a 15-mile radius. You might want to expand the radius depending on where you are. But our default budget is $35 and he puts 50. So every ad that this group was running, they were running $50 ads. Okay. And that's great. And all you do is click create ad. Now I'm going to click this button to show you the form. Okay. And you're not going to do this when you're running an ad. I just want you to understand what's behind this system and why this works so well. So we actually have Facebook ad software built into our platform. So you don't have to go through this process, but I want to show you. The first question is, what's your time frame to buy? And the answers are like 1 to 3 months, view 6 and 6 to 9 and just streaming. Honestly, I think that question and answer is bogus because a lot of people will put in just dreaming and they literally buy a house in 30 days with their clients. When you put just dreaming, what you're really saying is, I don't want you to be bothering me about this, right? I'm just interested in this, but I don't want you to call me. So I'm going to put just dreaming, right? That's just human nature. But the next page right here, it says contact information. And you'll notice that the name, email, and phone number is blank here. But in reality, when you're looking at an ad on Facebook and you click on it, that form is filled out. And I want to point this out because there are more than 200 tools for every client in the system, okay, for every agent. And summer forms for open house and summer forms for landing pages. And so nothing gets name, phone number, and email as fast as a Facebook ad, and accurate, because while we're looking at empty fields on an actual ad, it's pre-populated. Okay. And that nobody's typing anything in. They're just they click yes, submit my info, and then it says thank you. Okay. View listing. And so they can go look at the single property website. That's why these Facebook ads are so powerful, because there is no place where you're going to get name, email, and phone number as fast and as cheaply, in this case, for 575 leads at $3.50 a lead. The average cost is around $3, but this is what was happening for this group here. Okay. I just want to point that out. That is the fastest, easiest way to get a buyer lead. Okay. Running an ad on a home that is for sale or just listed. Now, I want to point out also part of the value of what you bring to your real estate partners is, as I mentioned, buyer's compensation is, I don't know, it's questionable, I think, for many people. And I see a lot of kind of grief about that. So what if you were able to say, hey, real estate partner, I actually have a system that will help you get more listings? They probably would be listening to you. And if you were actually able to help them act and get that business, you probably have a partner for life. And so I want to point out that I do a class every 2 weeks called Top Tools for More Listings. This document that you're looking at here is what I actually speak to. And if people are acting on this outline, they're going to end up getting listing leads and ideally converting them to listing contracts. So if you're on your desktop computer here and you're looking, there's a little GoToMeeting navigation bar and there's buttons and stuff. If you look at the button that has a paper clip on it, you will see 2 documents. Please print those and give these to anybody you are hoping to engage. Okay. There's some other documents I want you to give them as well, but these really speak to the nuts and bolts of what this system can do to help people get more listings. Mail out a nearby homeowner letter, run ads on sold and pending properties, create a home valuation page, run ads on the home valuation page, use our seller PDF guides and run ads on those and get people to download them for free as long as they give you their contact information. Market the seller PDF guides in other ways like print and email. There's just sold postcards. There's e-flyers that you can blast out. You want to go through this list. Now, I'm not going to go in deep detail on this list because I actually do that every other week. And I'll show you where you can see that. There's another flyer here, Facebook and Google, right? Facebook and Google ads. And I run through this every 2 weeks as well. So what we're talking about is running ads, building your brand, early stage listings get buyers, later stage listings get sellers, right? And then we have Google software, really high quality leads, a little more expensive, but definitely worth knowing about. So I showed you how to get buyer leads. And that's going to be the first thing that a lot of people are going to say is I need to sell these properties. The second thing you might hear is I would definitely like more listings. So how can you help people there? Obviously, this document is the answer to that. But if you go to the dashboard, when you drop in, you're always on this page, all leads, but click on seller leads, and this will tee up the tools that are going to help you get more listings. Okay. And that would be running ads on Facebook and Google. That would be marketing your later stage homes. And that would be maybe marketing our seller landing pages. And mind you, a lot of people get landing pages and they create their own, right? And then PDF guides, right? And there's even some things to engage like email blasting and stuff like that. But I already showed you the fastest and most effective way of getting buyer leads. Let me show you the fastest way of getting seller leads. And that would be click on generate sellers, create a Facebook ad. And then when you click listing ad, you're going to see that it's going to show you just the homes that are sold or under contract or pending. So let's do this one here. That's sold. We're leaving it on lead ads because we like name, email, and phone number, and we click create ad. Now, I want to point out that as this writes the ad, all you have to do is click that button. Boom, create ad. Okay. And that's going to literally launch an ad for $50. But these leads costs more than buyer leads. Facebook sets a price per lead when you run an ad. Okay. So what we're telling Facebook is, hey, you can spend $50 max in a 7-day period. Show people this ad. That's what you're doing, right? And then of course there's a form, they click on it, their name, email, phone number's there, and that's good. Then, but Facebook charges you per lead, right? So if they're charging, like this example, 353, you would divide 353 into 50 and have some assumption of how many leads you're going to get. But the average cost of a lead when you're running an ad like this, which is sold, is closer to $7. So you could divide 7 into 50 and expect about 7 leads. Okay. So that's how it works. It's not, it's not on top of the 50. It's just chewing off part of the 50 as the week goes by. Okay. Now, this is the fastest and easiest way of capturing seller leads. Okay. But if you look at this, the number one way is this nearby homeowner letter. I'll show that to you in a minute. The nearby homeowner letter, mailing that to people with equity, takes more time, takes more money, but the lead quality is way higher than the Facebook ad, right? Now, you can also do things on Google. Those are more expensive, really easy to do, but higher quality. Google is a number one website in the country. 86% of all questions are asked on Google. So for trying to get listings, you want to be spending some money on Google. But here, I'm going to just give you the thing that kind of scares a lot of agents. If you run an ad, and I'll show you how to run an ad on Google in a little bit, you can run an ad on a home valuation landing page, like what is my Dallas home worth, or any of the 80-40 PDF guides. When you're doing that, those leads can cost $30 each, right? So and the budget is usually $350 a week. And so that's a bigger spend, right? It's different from saying I'm going to spend $50 on an ad and get 10 to 7 leads. But if I'm going to spend $350 and I'm going to get maybe 7 leads, there's more money. It's more expensive. The thing that you have to understand and should understand when it comes to advertising, the reason why we advertise on Facebook is that Americans are here, American adults, they're here for 40 minutes every day. On average, I think it's like 70% of American adults are here every day. Now they're looking at what their friends are doing. They're looking at what their family's doing, what they're eating, where it's on vacation, right? All the fun stuff. You follow what you want to follow. And it's so compelling that, you're here 40 minutes a day. You're on your phone, you're driving your car, you're in the meeting. You're probably listening to me looking at Facebook, right? That is what the power of Facebook is. It's actually the number 3 website in the country. You know what the number 1 website in the country is? It's this website, Google. And what's amazing about this website is 86% of all questions asked on the internet are asked right here. So if you want to know what's it cost to sell my home, how do I sell my home, what is my home worth, what should I pay for commission, whatever real estate related question, our ads are a response to those keyword searches. Okay. So the difference is I'm over here at Facebook and I'm looking at cats and what my friends did over the weekend. But when I have a question, I go here looking for an answer. And you write in a question and the answer is kind of written there. And if they click on it and they fill out the form, they like your answer and they want your help. Totally different kind of lead than lobbing it over here and hoping that somebody sees it and that kind of rings a bell. I was just talking to an agent in San Antonio before this call, and she created this, right? She's got some kind of knowledge of VA loans. And so she creates this. So I'm just going to show you, this is what the ad looks like. And if I click learn more, what's my time frame to buy, right? 1 to 3 months, just streaming, 12 months. If I click it doesn't matter what I click, right? And I click continue, you see how my name, phone number, and email are right there. I don't have to type anything in. That again is the power of Facebook ads, because people are so comfortable with Facebook because they've been using it for years. They're like, yeah, click continue, give you my information. And if you were on this call Oh no, it was another call. I will tell you, now that you've got a name, phone number, and email, you probably think you need to call them, right? That would be like kind of speed the lead. There's a lot of research on how to convert leads, and you should be well aware of the results of that. The top three ways are phone calls, email, and text. What do you want to guess is the number one way? It's actually text. And that's because I'm sure you've heard that there are scams in this world today, right? There's scams on your phone. I get text scams almost every day, a few times a week. Email is loaded with scam email. I get scam messages inside of Facebook. They're just all over the place. So nobody really wants to talk to people that they don't know, is really what it's about. And also, when you think about email, how many emails does everybody get today? I'm going to just brush it and tell you it's at least 200 emails a day, right? You look at all, especially if you've got 2 or 3 emails, it's just ridiculous. Is your email that effective from your drip campaigns or whatever? The answer is actually no. What is most effective and what most people will respond to is you texting them, right? And that's what this guy over here, Craig, was saying, is like, we're using the AI text feature, which is an add-on. And I'm just going to show you, if you go to leads in our side of our system, you can sign up for AI text here. And if you think that you're going to be talking to your partners and really having a Facebook ad focus, you definitely want to be looking at this. And here's a good idea of the conversations. This is a buyer conversation. This is just how it starts. This is a seller conversation. You'll notice that the questions are really simple. Some agents, I've spoken to agents who would literally write like 2 big paragraphs about everything they know and how long they've been here. And then they email it to the lead, and nobody wants to read that on their phone, right? Simple questions like this will get answers, and they will talk to people 11% of the time. They will get tired of answering questions and they'll say, hey, can we schedule a call? At that point, we send you the conversation and with all the text, right? Like, okay, this is what they're talking about. Here's their answers. Let's book a call. I know what they need, right? So this is just the example of our text conversations, right? You can actually say, I want to use that. And you can see here's the pricing, basically $1 lead. So if you're generating 100 leads a month, you want this package because the AI will work on 100 new leads every month, including the old leads that were from the previous month. This guy here is generating closer to 200 leads a month. So he's probably got this package here, right? And then you can turn it on, you can turn it off when you want. But if you're generating, let's just say 20 leads a month, and it takes you a good amount of texting, if you can manage that, by all means, do it, right? It doesn't matter if you do it or AI text does it. But if you get beyond that, you're going to feel like, I got too many leads. And we have clients with thousands of leads and generating hundreds of leads every week. They're not going to be able to keep up with all that. And that's where AI text is just an awesome investment, because it's going to close the lead to a phone call 11% of the time. Okay. And that's the example here. That's what's going on. And you can see what that's all about. So I just showed you the easy things that I want everybody to know. If you're talking to an agent and they got properties and they need to sell them, you need to get them in here and say, hey, let's get your listings in here and let's get this going. Let's run a Facebook ad and get you some buyer leads so that you have people to talk to. On the listing side, there's a whole stack of things. So I want to show you that. Let's click on generate seller leads. And I showed you how to run a sold ad, but I didn't show you that you have actually 80 PDF guides in every account, right? Lenders actually have an extra 11 PDF guides. And they're like big, broad loan discussions. Hey, do you want to hear about a jumbo loan or a VA loan or whatever it is? But all of these documents are about 5 to 6 pages long. And the agent's branding and color and logos on every page. Okay. So it's really branded for the agent. So the lenders and title officers, they have their own and they're branded to them. But if we're looking at ways to capture seller leads, this is really a useful way. Let's click on create ad on 12 mistakes to avoid. We want it on lead ads because we definitely want name, email, and phone number, and we click create ad. And In this case, the ad is written. There's a nice picture. You get what the program is, and you type in whatever town you want to type in, right? You can even do this outside the United States. We've got clients all over the Caribbean and Mexico and Canada. So this works everywhere. Now, this is a $50 ad. And these leads, remember how I told you the just sold ones cost $7 each? These leads on average cost $10 each. Okay. So definitely they're a little more expensive, but if you don't have any listings and you don't have the ability to borrow listings from other agents, running an ad on this would be a smart thing to do. Let me have a sip of coffee here. Yeah, there are 40 PDF guides for buyers. There are another 40 for sellers. So you got tools. If you're just standing still and you don't have stuff going on, you've got that. Now, I want to click on this one here. I've got a property that is sold. I'm going to click on market listing because I want to point out the number one tool. So you can see here, number one and top tools for more listings is Nearby Homeowner Letter. And what is that? When you click on market listing on any listing, we create a Nearby Homeowner Letter. And let's look at it real quick. It's not the sexiest thing in the world, and it's not meant to be. It's meant to be scanned and make a decision in like 3 seconds, right? So hopefully, there it is. We'll look at it here, and you can see it says, hey, this home is sold. Go check it out. Scan there, check it out. But our tools always say that's going to affect your home value. And go here to get your free home value, right? So this is a really powerful letter. People who are doing open houses, they like to door knock this, but a lot of our clients like to mail it. And if you have an account with Express Copy, you connect it, you'll have this button that says print and mail, and Express Copy will mail it in a 1 or 2 or 3 mile radius. It's your decision, only to homeowners with more than 6 years equity of single family homes. You just click this button, they download it, they fold it, they mail it from your address to their address. Okay. Really easy way of getting a high quality piece of mail to people with equity. So if you're looking for more listings, this doesn't generate the most amount of leads. It generates the highest quality leads. Okay. The Facebook ad generates the most amount of leads. They're just not the same quality because you're running it out in a 15-mile radius of whatever town you chose. Whereas here, you're in a 1 or 2 or 3 mile radius, meaning you're close to the home that you've already been working with, and you're mailing it only to people with equity. I hope that is making sense to you. Now, I want to remind you, we're back in the mastermind group. If you're not in the mastermind group, you need to get in, and I'm going to show you how to get in just a moment. But I want you to look at these names. Pat Motley, Craig Johnson, who I've just shown you, Dustin Fox, and Brian Matheson. You can learn a lot from these people who've been long-term clients. But for this particular part of the discussion, which is how do I get listing leads, I want to show you Pat's message here. Pat's been a client of ours, I think, for 14 years. She's from Louisiana. Okay. And for years, if you look for her name, you will see that she's talking about this letter, the Nearby Homeowner Letter, for years after year. It's her number one way of getting listings. And so what she does is she always prints out 100 when she has something just listed. And then she prints out 100 when she has something just sold, same property, right? Now, what we're looking at here is the back of this letter. So she uses Microsoft Publisher, makes it look like an envelope, hand folds it and hand writes it, right? Why in the world would Pat go through all that effort when we can do it in 2 clicks, right? And I think the answer is the results. So you can read this and you can read the comments because I asked her how did this do. So she said on the first 100, 4 homeowners called her for the free home value. And on the second 100, which is the 100 we're looking at here, which is now the home is sold, another 4 people reached out to her and all 8 wanted to sell their home with her. So this is taking 1 home and 200 pieces of mail and getting 8 more listings. This is something that every agent should be doing. They don't know that they should. They know that they should market a sold property, right? But the sad fact is what I see realtors do 99% of the time is share a really pretty photograph and say, hey, I sold this home in this town. No call to actions, no free information, just a picture, right? That is not what listings to leads is about, right? When we create a postcard, and many agents will maybe mail a postcard, you will see that there are two call to actions on the front of the postcard, a hyperlink and a QR code. Both are going to take you to a page where you're going to get your free home value. And if you happen to turn over the postcard, it says, hey, that affects your home value. Go here to get your free home value. So our postcards are designed to capture leads. Most postcards are designed to brand and to put your name and phone number there so people can call you. But unfortunately, people are not too excited about calling realtors all day. They definitely want information. You know that they research for 2 weeks to 2 years before they pull the trigger. So why not use tools that are going to get them information that they want in return for contact information? And that's really the bottom line. So when we go look at top tools for more listings, you'll see running pending ads, using PDF guides, sold postcards, right? That's what I'm showing you here. I do want to say that a lot of people are using our landing pages as well, as you actually get a handful of landing pages already created for you, right? And these are great and they're useful, but you might actually want to create more home value ones for your various towns. I've got one here for San Antonio. I've got one over here for Modesto, cool little kind of Central Valley town, right? You can create landing pages for all of your favorite farm markets, right? I've got one over here, I think, for Pleasant Hill. Pleasant Hill is a little neighborhood next to me. This is kind of like the little downtown, this Crescent Circle, I think is what it's called. And there's a theater and there's all kinds of food there. Everybody in Pleasant Hill knows this. You want to have something like this so that you can say, yeah, I want to hit that farm market. Then you click marketing tools and then you're back to, should we run a Facebook ad? Should we run a Google ad? Should we share for free on social media? Should we take the flyer and blast it out on my leads inside my own CRM, right? It's all automatically done. And that's really the value of listings to leads, is just to tee everything up, make sure there's lead capture built in, and then you can do that. You can tell us, hey, auto post this landing page once a month. And that's what it's going to do, right? Here's the e-flyer for your database. You copy this, you take it to your own CRM. That hyperlink and that graphic, they capture home value leads. This is going to drive to a page that we've also created for you and another page. And both of these pages actually capture a lot of leads. We even have a mailing. This looks like the Nearby Homeowner letter. This again has lead capture built in. And of course, you can use Express Copy to mail it to people with equity, right? So that's the gist of what we're on about. Creating tools that are easy, that are auto-generated. Some can go automatically to social media. I didn't even talk about this section here, which is social content. We actually have, when you come to this page the first time, it's going to say connect to your social media accounts, right? Connect to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google My Business. We have a lot of feedback that our clients' Instagram business pages are growing just because people like the colorful content. All right. I'll show it to you in a moment. Google is ranking our clients' Google My Business pages to page 1, right? So if I typed in Walnut Creek real estate, what's going to show up here, right? Now you see some big sponsored people and stuff like that, but your Google My Business could be right here. And if we had local people putting our content on here, right here, and let me show you, you can say, hey, how many days a week you want it. And there's all this content. If somebody was using this, they would find that their Google My Business page would be showing up on that search. We actually have clients saying, hey, we've been using this for a few months. Google is scoring this content. And you can go in here if you want to look at the articles. Most people don't, but you can certainly scan them. It's conversational content. It's not deep, heavy industry reads, because that's not what social media people like to do. They don't want to be reading an encyclopedia on their phone. But this content is being ranked by Google, and that's why our clients' Google My Business is going to page 1 of Google on a real estate search. So now I'm going to take you to the marketing calendar. Let's see, my Facebook ad was jacked up. Is there something I can post without paid ads? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shane, does your Facebook page have people following it, and can you get to it? Let's Yes, you can get to it, and there are people following. You have any ballpark of how many people are following your business page? I'm going to go over to Facebook real quickly, and that's a good question, and I appreciate that question. I want to show everybody something that they don't know, probably don't know. Listings to leads. So this is our business page, okay? Uh, excuse me, listings to leads. And you all have a business page. If you don't, you need to create one, okay? And if you don't know how to create one, log in as yourself, click this button up here that says menu and click create page and name it with your name and your town and the words real estate or luxury real estate or realty or whatever. Put in agent, type in real estate, and you're probably a real estate agent. So do that. And then your bio, you know that. Once you create that page, you can put your picture, you can add that there. Shane, you're a lender. Okay, 350 followers. Okay, cool. You could just type in, instead of just type in loan service, or let's say mortgage broker, right? One of those would be if you're creating a lender page. You need a business page to run ads. You can't run ads if you don't have a business page. So yes, we can auto post a lot of content. All that content I just showed you for social content would auto post to your business page. It sounds like you can't run an ad. And I'm going to send this to you, Shane. This is a link, which is the business support page. So when you click it, it's going to be relevant only to your business page. You might want to try this. Unfortunately, I think Facebook has some of the worst customer service of any company I've ever seen. Like, it's horrible. And they're such a huge deal. I just don't get it, because honestly, if they were helping real estate and lender clients, they would make more money. And they're definitely in the mindset of making money. So anyway, everybody has this page here in their account, marketing calendar. Okay. Oh no, I want to finish this discussion. Sorry, guys. Let's go to, where was I? Give me a second. I'm trying to get to our business page because I want everybody to understand. So Shane is saying that he has a business page and that he has 350 people who like it. Now, what most of us don't know is that whatever you put on this page, whether we do it automatically or you go hand type it or you copy, put something there, only 5% of those people are going to see what you're putting there, right? And so we have 13,000 people, right, following us here. And only 5%, whatever we put here, only 5% of those people, of our followers, are going to see anything we're here. It used to be 100% or like 80%. But then when Facebook went public, they wanted money. So they give you a little boost button because they want your money to then reach a few thousand people. And it's really funny because it's not funny, but in the early days of Facebook, they were saying, hey, companies, Fortune 500, you should create a business page, right? And large companies would have their own social media team working on Facebook, putting new content because it had great reach. And then I would say 4 or 5 years later, they said, hey, we're not going to do that anymore. If you want that kind of reach, you got to boost your stuff. I don't recommend boosting anything, guys, if you're in real estate, okay? I don't recommend that, because there's a lot of buttons. Like, basically, if you've seen our results, which I've been referring to a few times, getting name, email, and phone number is not a default setting for Facebook. And you can waste your time and money really easily boosting ads. And depending on if you're trying to get buyers or you're trying to get sellers or whatever, that is a problem, right? So I don't want you to waste money. That's why I'm saying run ads through our platform. I've run ads with you for a while, but there's a problem with the payment outstanding. Oh, yeah, I think I need. No, this is thank you for raising this, Shane. This happens a lot. And I'm going to answer this for everybody, because you might be working with realtors or maybe yourself and you're having this problem. So what Shane is saying is there is a payment outstanding. Okay. And he has confirmed that He has credit card in there. If we go to the ad manager, there will be an area. Give it a second to pop up. Over on the left is a navigation bar. And this little thing here, you see, it looks like the back of a credit card. That's where you handle your payment and stuff. And click around this area, and I'll tell you what the problem is. I don't have any amount due, but you actually have an amount due. And that's because you see this daily spending limit. Notice it's set by Meta. Okay. You all have this. You didn't set it up. Facebook set it up. Why did they set it up? Because so many clients get scammed. So many agents get scammed. Remember, scam emails and all that. There's so many scams, and people are trying to get your ID and password, and they do. That's why agents get locked out of their account. And so Facebook, as a workaround, has said, hey, we're just going to put a daily limit on everybody. And let's say that Shane ran an ad, and your daily limit may not be 100. It could be 50. It could be 75. It could be 250. But if for whatever reason you ran over that budget, they would say, oh, they would let you spend the money, but they'd give you like a current balance of like $5. I've seen a balance of like, I think like $1.75. And then that stops you from running your ads. And then you just go in and you click the button, you say, pay the budget, right? It's $6, pay the budget. And boom, now your account works again. This is a really weird problem. The other weird thing about Facebook is they just shut down agent accounts just for no reason. And the reason that they do that is, you may not know this, but Facebook was sued by HUD. Scott, it's been a long time. It's been at least 4 or 5 years. And that, you know how a lawsuit with HUD is going to take a few years. So they actually like finalized, I think 3 or 4 years ago, on what like the fine was. It was a big fine. And they said anytime an agent runs an illegal ad, or a loan officer, because loan officers were running discriminatory ads as well. Anytime anybody does this on Facebook, Facebook will be fined $100,000. That's a lot of money. So what's Facebook start doing? Just start shutting down real estate business pages, just shutting down accounts. And realtors like, what? I set up, you don't know this, but I set up the office and team accounts around the country. And I had an office client from Remax. We still have them. And their business page for their office got shut down. And the owner calls me. He's like, do you know how to get this fixed? Because we don't even run ads. We just have it up because we created it. And I sent them the link that I sent you, Shane. I said, try to reach out to them. When you try to reach out to Facebook, they just work with you in email, and it is painful and slow. Like, if you get locked out of your account, keep working on it. Usually in a couple months of constant pestering, they will make your account live again. That's the situation. All right. I want to point out, I was trying to get us over here to the marketing calendar because it's an important page for everybody. There are resources. There's a couple things I want to, if you have questions, let me know. I want to show you this resource page, and I want to show you our listing presentation. So here you can get to our YouTube channel, and you want to subscribe to this. And I literally tell this to people all the time. And that is, get to this page, videos, because every one of our videos right here, and it's kind of like the most recent one is number 1, right? And it goes down. You're going to see there's over 800 pages, 800 videos. You don't need to go through them all. But I do say this to people. Go through 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 rows of these things. What you don't know is, like, our system is very powerful. It's helped agents move from one state to another and become like the top listing agent and open their own offices. It's helped agents go from rookie to having a team of 24 agents and being the biggest agent in an office of 1,000, right? This took years. It took like 6 years. But those people and many other people learned how to use our system. And if you watch a few rows of this, it's all going to become very clear of what we're doing here and how powerful it is. I do want to point out 2 videos, or a few, right here. Scott did this. I mentioned at the beginning of the call. It's a 6-minute video. If you are running ads on Facebook to get buyer leads, watch that. It is really informative, and it's current. Like, this is 2 weeks old. We can see all the ads. We can analyze all the ads that our clients are doing, and we can see the top ones. And he is sharing in that exactly what's getting the highest results. So if you're working with agents that need buyers, you got to watch that 6-minute video. Now, you've heard me talking about this top tools for more listings, because I think if you can talk to realtors and say, hey, I have a way to help you get listings, that's what this video here, that's called Top Tools for More Listings, is about. I did that 9 days ago. This is about Facebook and Google. Yeah, you should understand that. Scott's doing a lot of videos. He actually just did this one. He was helping a client create this VA ad, right? And I showed you the ad over on Facebook. I was looking at it and talking to the agent this morning. But Hunter, we got an awesome listing presentation, pending marketing, open house marketing. If you got people who are doing open houses, you absolutely got to be using our stuff. We've had clients generate 50, even 80 leads in 1 week of marketing one open house. Where do you hear that? You're not going to hear that from any other company. No, they use a handful of our tools and they do it and it works. Lots of great stuff here. Yee, there's a call here with Scott, and Yee is in the mortgage business too. So when you see her picture popping up, definitely, if you're a lender, check that out. So there's a lot here, and I'm going to show you, let's go back to the homepage of our YouTube channel. I think there's this call, this guy right here. And this is kind of a testimonial, right? And this is the guy who was a manager at Office Depot, was a rookie when I sold their office. He now has a team of 24 agents, just published a book last year on marketing, and one of the sections is on us. This guy has grown to be solid. It's just him and his wife, and they've grown and grown. And the tools I'm showing you, they use them all, right? He's saying, hey, just use the checklist, and this is going to build your business. And this is a great example. You can look for Dustin Fox in the mastermind group. If you're on Instagram, follow us there. Scott's also doing, speaking of the YouTube channel, he's doing shorts. And I said, hey, watch 3 rows of this. And some of them are 6 minutes and some of them are an hour long, right? And I can tell you, agents don't want to be watching anything an hour long, but maybe they can handle 1 minute. These are 1-minute videos, right? And they're basically getting the feedback from our clients and saying, this is what they got and this is how they did it. Okay. So if you can handle watching a minute, I would definitely recommend checking this page out. If you're following us on Instagram, you're going to see our shorts there. Now, I did walk us through the mastermind group, but if you click this button, this will get you to the mastermind group, and there'll be a button over here that says join group. And honestly, everybody who is a client should be scanning this 5 or 10 minutes a week. Okay. Because it's not just Scott and I talking about what's going on. It's also our clients saying, hey, this is what we're doing. This is the results we're getting. So definitely come and scan this thing whenever you want. This is an example of a custom landing page, and people want to do custom work, and you can do that very easily. Here, you can sign up for our live webinars like the one that we have today, which is leadgenwebinars.com. I'll send this to everybody. And even if you're not a client, you can watch our webinars. You can, obviously, we're not locking down YouTube. I just sent this link to everybody, and you'll see that next week I'm doing Get Started. And then I'll be doing Facebook and Google ads. And then the following Monday, I'll be doing top tools for more listing. Scott will probably add some more calls in here. So this is a really good class to say, hey, if you want to go see what they're doing, get on leadgenwebinars.com and hear these guys talking. But everything is recorded and everything is on this page, right? So you have access to that inside of your account. I will say this, let me jump out of this real quickly. And let me have another sip of coffee. When you sign up as either a lender or a title professional, you're going to have, give me a second here, guys. There are tools inside the system for you. Give me one moment. For you to engage agents. Okay. Because you've been kind enough to share an hour with me and talk, so I can tell you what Listings to Leads is about and why it's just so awesome. Right. But you're probably going to forget half of what I just said. Right. So what do we have to help you in that regard? And I'm about to show you. So give me one second. Let me get here. Yeah. So let's share here. Give me a second, guys. Trying to share my screen again. So when you sign up, it's $200 a month and you can have 5 agents. Agents don't pay. You just, that's not how it works. They get a free access. And I've actually had conversations with lenders who said, I signed up and I added 5 agents and we send out an instant welcome email and only 2 agents have logged in. I said, that sounds about right, because those agents are busy. They got tons of emails coming at them and they don't even know what this is. I said, and of the 2 that logged in, one's going to figure out what's going on and the other's going to forget how to log in 2 weeks. So you're really only getting 1 out of 5. So I actually don't recommend that kind of introduction to our system at all. I recommend that you get on the phone, you tell them that I am, yeah, Shane, that's exactly, that's a big question. I'll answer that in a moment. I'll respond to your question there. Oh, your question about how do I get a PDF guide? When you click on marketing tools, there's a landing page for every PDF guide. You just copy that and you share it to your socials for free, and that'll get out there. So when you go to invite agents here, you're going to notice that you've got print flyers. And I did mention, I would definitely recommend these 2 documents, which are inside embedded in the navigation panel here, that you print these and give these to every agent, or you email them to them, because they're going to want these. And if they know that they have ways of getting listings, they're going to start getting engaged. But here you can run an ad. So you could say, hey, you know what? I'm going to run an ad in San Antonio and just tell people, hey, do you want a free account to Listings to Leads to get all kinds of business? Boom, create an ad. You can share it for free. Shane says you can't run an ad. You can share this for free over on your social medias, right? You've even got a print flyer. So let's say that you're going to go visit an agent and maybe you print out a stack of these and you give them to people as you're chatting with people, right? And just say, hey, I've got this really cool system. And that's, this just gives the bullet points of what's going on. And there's even a presentation, right? This is a slide deck that you can go through. So let's say you're going to go do a lunch and learn. This is the marketing system that I found. It gives you some screenshots so you can see what's going on. And these are ways to engage agents. Then once you've got somebody who's engaged and says, yeah, then add them. And I would recommend being there when you add them. Now I'm going to log out of that account and go back into mine. And there's a reason why you want to be there when they're doing that, because if they get an email, and I just gave you the example that they don't even log in, it's going to do nothing, right? But let's say that they're like, I like this story. I want to get engaged. When they log in, this is what they're going to see. They're going to see a wizard here. And it's going to say, hey, because you're going to get an email. It's going to say, hey, Shane invited you, and log in and get going. So it's going to say, put your photograph there. Put any of this information, right? Put your logo there and maybe get your color scheme in there. We've got templates for major deals, but if you're from an independent shop, you can change your color scheme right here. And then this is where really the important piece is. This is where you connect social media accounts for auto posting your listings and a few of the landing pages. So you want to go through all that and you want to make sure an agent does all this. And then you want to say, hey, agent, connect your Facebook business page there, your ad account, right? So that you can run ads in 2 clicks. And then remember I mentioned that social content, like this is blowing up people's Instagram and Google My Business. Turn these on, tell us how many days, and connect your socials. Here's the reason why you want to do that. Here, you can drop in your email address that's in your MLS, and that will have us pull in their listings automatically. If they don't have their own listings, they can borrow one. Maybe they have, of course, they'll probably have to ask their office or the agent, drop in the zip code and MLS ID and grab it. And we're going to create all these tools. And now, because they connected their Facebook, we'll auto post it and they can run ads. And then if they want their leads to drop into a CRM, boom, right here, going to happen automatically. They want to use our drip campaigns. I recommend it. Better than all those CRMs I just showed you. They can even sweep in their reviews and then you're all done. That's how you set up an account. And if that was set up, those agents would be getting tools emailed from us all the time. like all the time. We'd say, hey, we just auto posted this, or we just auto posted a landing page. But at that point, they're all set up. Okay. And at that point, you can ask, hey, agent, what do you need? What do you need right now? Do you need to get buyers for your listings, or do you need to get more listings? And that's what we did. So now that they're all set up, they're going to log in right here. And we can say, because if you need buyer leads, just click that tab and let's do some of the things here to get you more buyer leads. And the start of this call was run a Facebook ad, right? If they say, no, I don't have any listings, I need listings, click on this button. And we've talked about the many ways of getting seller leads right here. And that's really where an agent typically is. I need more buyers or I need more sellers. And that's what this platform is going to help them do. Shane, you're saying you're struggling getting agents to fully engage. I've heard that a lot. And I think I'll tell you, remember I started with this call with talking about Craig, who was a loan officer. And Craig used to call me. He signed up last summer. Very smart, got a lot of ideas, been doing a lot of marketing. So he's really familiar with advertising and familiar with working with agents. And boy, he was like asking me this, trying to do this. And he finally just said, you know what? I've listened to these guys long enough. They keep saying to run Facebook ads. So he decides I'm just going to run Facebook ads and use the AI to convert those leads into business. This was the beginning. This is 10 weeks old, right? So let's say that he began this campaign in about March, right? He had been working with us for over 6 months, trying to get agents to do this and that. He finally was like, hey, let's get this going. If you go look at our website and you look at the lender page, you will see a different lender. His name is Joe Lanza, and he actually has a different perspective. What he says is, hey, agent, if you run an ad, I'll get you in here. We'll get all the automation turned on. It's going to be all cool. But if you run an ad, I will run another one for the same value as soon as that expires. Because getting the ads and copying yourself on the leads, whether you convert them or they convert, somebody's got to convert them, or you use our AI, the ad software is going to get you the most name, email, and phone numbers of our whole platform. The other things are awesome. They're automated. They definitely make an agent look like a rock star, but they don't capture as many leads that are actionable that you can work. And that's where you definitely want to use all of this, but getting people to just say, hey, do you need more buyers? Yeah, you can't run ads, Shane, but the other agents, your clients probably can. Your agents probably can, right? And so they can run ads on their own stuff. It doesn't have to be through you. So if you have an account for 5 agents, each agent has their own social media, their own branding, their own headshots, obviously, and their own ad accounts attached. You might have your own social media and ad accounts attached. Shane's having a problem with his, right? So if you were a loan officer, and I think both of these people, Craig and Joe here, they just run ads on the agent's listings and pay for them themselves and convert the leads themselves. That's the other thing that I hear, especially when it comes to loans. I've had lenders call me and say, you know what, I've been helping this agent for a couple months and we're doing all this stuff and getting leads, and she's giving the loans to somebody else. How do I get her out? You just click a button, you kick her out and put somebody else in there that's going to work with you. So everybody, that's my story for today. Don't forget about our YouTube channel. If you have questions, let me know, but I appreciate you hanging out with me today. And if you have more questions, you can schedule a demo here and you'll find my information here. If you want to just give me a call or email me, or you can schedule something right there on that little Calendly thing. And yeah, that's my question. And by the way, I'll tell you, so the lenders, you might actually be working with an office that wants their own office account and just point in my direction. Joe, for instance, the guy on our website, we're setting up an office where the broker wants their own account, but we're embedding the loan officer's approval pages, the online applications, into every listing, so that if you're looking and you see there's a home for sale, it says get pre-approved. And now, boom, we can get people to their pre-approval landing page. And we can set that up when we set up an office account. A lot of tools here, everybody. I appreciate you hanging out with me. If you are going to be doing like a big presentation and you want me to jump in for a little bit, happy to help there as well. I am the first resource for our loan officer and title clients. So if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Once you get off the ground, you understand what you got here, you'll be pretty psyched. So reach out if you need it. Have a great day, everybody. This call has been recorded. It will be up on YouTube shortly. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.